Hey, welcome to the greenhouse that Discovery Channel built for me. Mainly misty, rainy, and my daughter Jamie teamed up to build this for me. I'm going to do some work in here today. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I decided to escape the house, the confines of the house, and come out to the greenhouse. It gives me the outdoor experience, but yet being protected and warm because I've got the propane heater going on in here. And it's going up to 70 degrees because I've got that thing on high. I wanted to be comfortable out here because I'm coming out here to plant some more plants. Yeah, this is the greenhouse that Misty Rainey and my daughter built out of repurposed material that I gleaned from my contractor friends. All these windows that constructed this greenhouse, I collected, and then we decided to audition for a show called Homestead Rescue. Honey, I Torched the Homestead and Savage Wilderness. We did 2 episodes with them. Anyway, they came aboard, they built this greenhouse for us, and now we are totally enjoying the greenhouse. My daughter gets in here once in a while. My wife is getting excited about going out here because of looking all the plant life that is growing out here. She's getting excited. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about how I'm going to use this facility. This is February. We're getting a really early start. I started last month. And we're going to get a really early start and plant a bunch of plants that I can turn around and sell at a roadside stand, maybe, and earn some extra revenue. Now, in a previous show, I showed you guys all the potential revenue earnings for this worm bin called vermiculture. Yeah, today I'm going to talk about how I can turn this greenhouse into a profit. First of all, I was gifted. Yeah, that's right, free. I love that word, free. Gifted. A bunch of seed, tons of seed. And I stored the seed, and I've been using that seed for the last several years on growing things. And also, we've been upcycling. We're saving all of our containers of different sorts and styles. And then these particular containers are cottage cheese. You can tell we love our cottage cheese. And by the way, this cottage cheese has a Blue Ribbon award-winning cottage cheese, and we're fortunate to have it in our market. Yeah, it got a Blue Ribbon on the global scale. And also, I'd like to do a off-the-beaten-path show on another thing that's unique to our area that is globally known. In fact, a world-famous chef shops there when he comes to town for his restaurants that he has. So what I did is I took cottage cheese containers and I poked holes in them. I just took a scissors and just poked the holes in them. You want some drainage in the bottom of these. I have some soil over here. I have my seed here. Today I am going to be planting a bunch of herbs because a variety of herbs because I want to sell them. I want to sell them. Now, I want to show you another trick that I learned. I taught myself this other trick is to make labels for your plants. You just simply take your scissors, your cottage cheese container, you cut your cottage cheese container into these little labels. Yep. And then you take a Sharpie and you write on the label what the plant is you're planting, and I always write the date I'm planting it. The family of plant, the variety of plant, and the date that I plant it, and I stick it in the soil. Yeah, you see examples of them here on what I already printed. So I'm just going to fill one of these full of dirt. Excuse me, it's soil. right here, already prepared. Let's get these out of the way. Yeah, there is a difference between dirt and soil, and agriculturists, horticulturists will constantly remind me there is a difference. So I'm going to go through my seeds. I have some common thyme. We're going to go ahead and plant some common thyme in here. It doesn't matter what time of year I plant them because the greenhouse is a controlled environment, and I can plant that anytime I want because it's heated. And I also have these grow lights. These grow lights were gifted by a company for me to trial them, and they seem to be working out okay. This one is a Spider Farmer grow light, and it's adjustable, and it has the whole spectrum of light you need for your plants. Even as they're growing, so you can even adjust it, and you can hook them up in series. So this is common thyme, Thyme, common, and today is 2/10, and then we'll just stick it in here, water it in, and find a hole to stick it, a space to stick it in. I'll stick it right here because a nice space. It'll fit. Yep, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. So, moving on to the next one. We planted this thyme. We have parsley. Let's go with parsley in this bucket right here. So once these start growing, I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can thin them out into other buckets. And then the more buckets I get, the more money I'm going to make when I sell them at the little roadside stand. Hopefully I can thin them out. So I just add a little bit more soil to the top of that. With my bare hands, I might add. And we're going to water it in. And I'm going to mark it parsley 2/10 from the cut up cottage cheese containers as a label. Easy. Okay, now technically I have free seeds, free labels, and free containers. I did buy the containers because I had the contents. And so we enjoyed the contents, but now we have the containers left over. Instead of sending these to the landfill, I am going to put them to good use. And we're going to stick them up here and let them grow and flourish. What is the next thing? Basil, sweet basil. We have sweet basil we can grow. Let's start this one. Fill it with soil. I don't even know if there's any seed in here because it was an open pack. I think, yep, there's seed in there. We're just going to finish it off. And it doesn't matter if it grows or not. It might be too old, but I'm not out any money because I don't have any money into this. We'll put some soil over the top of it. And we'll water it in. And of course, make our cottage cheese label. I like to cut the ends where they're pointy because I'm a little bit OCD. But my wife says I'm ADHD. That's why I'm out here in the greenhouse. I've got to keep busy and doing something. Let's see. This was sweet basil. I love growing the basil between my tomato plants because what happens is it infuses the tomatoes as they're growing with a little bit of the basil aroma and flavor. Try it sometime in your garden. It really works. You can see a previous video in my garden videos that I've grown successfully several times, the tomatoes with basil. I also put green peppers in between them too, or sweet peppers in between them also. Let's see what else we have in here. We have some more thyme. Yep, let's plant some thyme. Got a bucket. Okay. Make sure all those seeds are dislodged. Arg. I hope these seeds are going to be okay, but like I said, it doesn't make any difference if they are or not, because they were free, and the containers are free, and the soil is left over from last year. So we got that done. Put a little bit of soil over the top of that. Water it in. And we have thyme. T-H-Y-M-E, and today's date is 2/10. So, and we find a spot over here. And let's put that right there. I might end up having to create a couple of shelves up here for these containers to start them out and grow them out. And then once I get that done, I'll be able to take them out to the roadside stand. But I just came up with a better idea. I can actually take all the tubs and then put all those little containers in these tubs and build extra racks for the tubs to do it. That way I can handle them in a large quantity at a time. Yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. That's an idea I came up with for creating more revenue for utilizing the greenhouse, utilize what I have. Because like, you know, I said in an earlier video, we are getting ready to retire. It's a scary, scary threshold to cross, is the thought of retiring in the first place, because I've always been a man who has been willing to work and earn my keep. I've always worked. I enjoy working. I committed my boss at work to work another 5 years. I can officially retire as of last November. So if worse comes to worse, I can retire. We'll be okay. But I just, like I said, it's just a scary process for crossing that line. Some of you guys probably have prepared for your retirement years in advance. We did not have that luxury. So I'm just scouring about to see what I can do to earn extra income. And the greenhouse is one of those ways I can just do something small. It won't generate a lot of income, but I can put the greenhouse to work for me. And bring in a little bit of extra income and make the homestead a little bit more viable and productive. And just trying to do my best to do what I can for my family. Earlier today, I was at my publishers getting approval, or giving them approval on the proofs of my art that I have done. So, because I'm getting a lot more serious with my artwork. And we're getting ready for a gallery show. I've got to form a website. I've never done that before. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I'll have to explore it. I've got another book I'm publishing. I've got to go on and get the copyright on that, file for the copyright, file for a UPC and ISBN number. Yeah, books are a little bit more entailed. You got to get 3 things on them, and then we'll go ahead and get it marketed. And it depends on how things go. I may have to hire a agent. I don't know. But right now it's small potatoes. I do have books sold. This will be my 3rd or 4th book I have published. I've written 8 books, and they're on a variety of different subjects. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell. I am a little bit concerned. Yeah, because you've seen the videos I've been producing and just showing you some ideas I came up with to try to generate revenue here, generate revenue there, trying to get infrastructure in place to create as much of our own food as possible, and just being creative and being a penny pincher and a miser. I'm really good at penny pinching and being a miser, and I'm sharing with you guys how I'm able to do that. So hopefully it's helping you guys out with your adventures in life. I know some of you have had setbacks just like me. We were literally homeless, seriously living in a camp trailer and free campgrounds and the Walmart parking lot with my wife and 2 teenage kids. I have a whole nother show that deals with the details on that. And then also a show that details on how we found this cheap property and bought a cheap house, and then accidentally starting the YouTube show and getting discovered by Hollywood and getting this built for us. Full circle. Okay. A really nice set of fortunate circumstances that I am not taking for granted at all. Man, it really humbles me, and I have to sit back and looking back in retrospect, and it always brings a tear to my eye, because it is such a humbling experience to have to go through that and take my family through that and try to rise above all of this adversity and come up and get to where we are today. We're not wealthy. We're not making a whole lot of money. We're making ends meet, and we're getting ready to retire, and I'm scared. Bottom line, I'm scared. Well, I hope I've enlightened some of you and shared some information with you guys to inspire, to get you guys motivated to think outside of the box and focus on what can be. Be creative. Be imaginative. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a frugal homestead tucked high in the Cascade Mountains of the Pacific Northwest. We're geographically located west-southwest of Cradle Lake National Park. I often get questions in my comments, where do I live? Well, that's where I live. Look on a map, look for Cradle Lake. And I live west-southwest of there. I live in the wilderness, literally. You see some of my aerial shots? Yeah, like this one. I live in the wilderness. I really do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. Please stay tuned, be safe, and always be kind. Bye-bye.